Good evening. We are going to talk about why you should be using Samsung Pay. Hey! Trying to chew on the Christmas lights. As most of you already know, Samsung came out with Samsung Pay in 2015 when their S6 and up came out. Before we get into the objection part of the video and what else happened in 2015, let me tell you about the benefits. The biggest thing it has over all other mobile payment options is MST. This is Magnetic Secure Transfer. Phoebe, what are you doing? She's running back and forth. With Apple Pay or even Android Pay, if you go into a 20-year-old gas station who's still got the rickety old card swiper, you're not going to be able to use it. However, because there is physical tech inside... What are you doing, kitty? Because there's physical tech inside the Samsung phones from 2015 and on that makes any card swiper think that you just swiped a physical card instead of relying on that payment terminal having a separate NFC pad that you go beep to. You can go into a Walmart, you can go into Target, you can go into a Shell or any gas station and use it anywhere. These have that too, by the way. MST and NFC based payments. So you can use it virtually anywhere. Admittedly, yes, there are sometimes I'll take it someplace and try it in some random location or shop and it won't go through. So, is it perfect? No. But can you use it in a hell of a lot more places than you can use the competitors, Android or Apple Pay? Yes. And they reward you for it. They literally pay you to use Samsung Pay. So here's a $20 item, right? Here's your card, and here's Samsung Pay. You can either pay for that $20 using your card, debit card, ching, done. Or you can use Samsung Pay, which uses that card, ching, and then you get reward points for it. You accrue enough of these bad boys, and then you are able to redeem them for gift cards to various locations like Gap, Sephora, AMC Theaters, Best Buy, Chili's, Macaroni Grill, Maggiano's, On the Border, GameStop, or just redeem them for straight up money. And when I say money, I mean just digital rewards cards that act like prepaid Visa cards. Apple Pay does not do that. You even get reward points for using Bixby a lot. So if you have an S8, S8 Plus, or Note 8, instead of sending your latest picture to your girlfriend, be like, open gallery and text my latest picture to fill in the blank. And then the more you do that, you get paid by Samsung to use Bixby. Now, this promotion goes on and off, and it might be on or might be off right now, but still, regardless of the Bixby promotion, you still accrue reward points by using Samsung Pay, and it's faster. We've all seen those little chip cards, the ones where you go up, you take it out of your wallet, and you go swipe. Oh, gotta find the chip, gotta make sure the card's facing the right way. Oh, sorry. Please input your PIN. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, snap. Take the card out. Now you're done. Alternatively, pull the phone out, swipe up, tap the card, verify your identity with the fingerprint scanner, hold it up, beep. Then it'll ask you for your PIN. And then, boom, done. And it takes less time for the payment terminal to process the payment from Samsung Pay when you add a card that is a chipped card to Samsung Pay and use that to pay with than it would if you were using the physical chip card. And it's safer, and I'll tell you why. Usually when I tell people about Samsung Pay, if they have a hesitation or an objection to it, it's, oh, I am not putting my stuff online. I don't like mobile payments, so I'm not putting my stuff out there. That's not safe. My phone could get hacked. Samsung Pay transactions are protected by 256-bit encryption. Do you know how long it takes a brute force attack to break 256-bit encryption? This is my favorite thing to ask Google Assistant because apparently Bixby doesn't want to answer that question tonight, but has in the past. It still needs some work. How long does it take to break 256-bit encryption?
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. 50 supercomputers that could check a billion AES keys per second would require about 3 times 1051 years to exhaust the 256-bit key space.
Do you know how much time that is? That's about 14 billion years. It's roughly the same age as the entire universe, and I seriously doubt, even if you're Bill Gates, that in 14 billion years anybody will give a shit about your card. There's layer number one. The second security related reason why it's actually safer than using your card is that when you use your card, the merchant saves your name and the card number on a secure transaction database. Now, we all know how good the secure transaction databases were for Target and Zales and Home Depot with all the breaches that they had. But say somebody who was one of the victims of those breaches used Samsung Pay instead. Instead of the merchant saving their card number, they would have saved the one-time token code that is generated with every Samsung Pay transaction. This code matches temporarily with the bank that your card is through, and if it does get compromised or if it does get found on a list of breached numbers or whatever, my eyes are really dry, then it's a useless number that they can't do anything with. But your information never left your phone in the first place. Security reason number 3 why it's safer. When you add a card to Samsung Pay, they require you to digitally sign it, just like they do when you get sent a new card and you flip it over, they're like, please, not valid unless signed. So you have to sign that just so they can verify your signature. Security reason number 4, even if your phone is not locked, you are still required to both make a PIN and, if you so desire, have a iris or fingerprint, depending on which phone you have, tied to the activation of the payment mode, aka when the phone starts sending out that payment signal. Security reason number I don't even know, man, I've lost count. Every time you add a card to Samsung Pay, and every time you try to make a transaction with that card with Samsung Pay, it has to also go through the bank through which it is through to clear the transaction. And I don't know about you, but if I started a bank, it would be in my best interests to make damn sure that every transaction was safe as f***. You have a company, especially a bank's motivation to stay in business and to make more money, backing how much effort they put into the security of your card on top of all the other stuff that Samsung Pay adds to it. So you have multiple layers of security that are not present when you're just taking out the old physical card. Now, those of you in the comments who I know are probably going to be like, well, but in this time, blah, blah, blah. So there are 2 main issues that I did during a quick search about issues with Samsung Pay in the past. What, kitty? Oh, what are you doing? No. At the Black Hat Security Conference in 2015, there was a man who claimed that he was able to interrupt a Samsung Pay transaction using a tiny gadget hidden under his shirt cuff. Anyone who wants to use the shirt cuff thing as a real vulnerability for Samsung Pay is an idiot, in my personal opinion. Because picture this, we're just gonna use this as the payment terminal, right? I'm the customer, and this hand that comes in here does not belong to me. So I'm the customer, right? And I go, I use my phone, beep, and then the guy behind me goes, what do you think would happen if that would actually, no! The tiny gadget underneath the shirt cuff has to be in close has to be in close proximity to where the phone is touching the payment terminal anyway. So it's not like somebody who's across the room can set up a suitcase with a little micro cell tower and blah 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 and be like, ooh, there's one. Beep. No, you have to like get all up in this guy's business or girl's business and be like, okay, cool, success. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I saw a bug. Get the f*** out of here. There was another instance in 2015, I believe, where somebody hacked Loop Pay, which is part of Samsung and the provider of much of the brains behind Samsung Pay as of 2015 at least. And Samsung's answer to that was that yes, Loop Pay might have gotten compromised, and it didn't give a whole lot of details on how or what happened. They might have been compromised, but Samsung Pay and Loop Pay's stuff was physically separate were physically separate networks. So if one got, even if they were trying to get to Samsung Pay because MST, making phones fool payment terminals into thinking that they're physical cards, that could be powerful for somebody with malicious intentions. Yeah, sure, but they were separate entities. There's no like bridge there. That is why I feel comfortable using Samsung Pay, and that's why I encourage anybody with a Samsung phone to start using Samsung Pay, because you can benefit from it, and it's faster, and it's safer. I keep forgetting this part. If you want a free 30-second video made from your footage, then go to BeamtUp.com and go to free stuff. And stay beaming.